Vladimir Tarasenko delivers for the New York Rangers tonight. They beat the Philadelphia Flyers 3-2 in overtime, and Tarasenko saying, hey, don't forget about me, as Patrick Kane makes his debut tomorrow night versus Ottawa. Tarasenko scores 3 points and gets the game-winning goal in overtime. So he had a couple of primary assists, and he scores on that patented wrist shot, and that's what he's known for. He's got a quick release. It's a bit deceptive, and he scores past Carter Hart to help the Rangers win the game. And this was not a game the Rangers, they weren't really all that good. The second period was flat out bad, but the Rangers are in a weird situation right now. They are going because they really have no other choice because they're so up against the cap. Right now, 11 forwards, 5 defensemen. So Keandre Miller served the first game of a 3-game suspension. Ryan Lindgren is still out from the hit he took from TJ Oshie on Saturday, and Patrick Kane didn't play tonight. So they're really up against it. Luckily tomorrow, Kane will make his debut, and based on the rules, they should be able to call a defenseman up, but they have to be making less than like $850K, meaning that Zach Jones, he makes more than that, so they can't call him up. So it's probably Libor Hayek who might make his return. But also, and this is assuming Ryan Lindgren is out, which I'm going to assume that he will be. I think that's the smart move, honestly. Or maybe Matthew Robertson finally gets a shot. That would be my preference. If it's between Robertson and Hayek, we know what Hayek is. Robertson, maybe give him a chance. I'll guess that it's Hayek. Again, assuming that Lindgren is out. And this was a game where, really, Mott and Vesey, I don't believe they played a shift at all in the third period. I'm pretty sure they just rolled 3 lines. And, of course, you got the kid line, of course. There's the Kreider, Zibanejad, and Tarasenko, and Goodrow was with Panarin and Trocheck, not Vesey. So, it's kind of switched off between Goodrow and Vesey. And then the defense, all 5 of them played at least 20 minutes and 57 seconds. Yes. They all at least played 20 minutes. And, that's not a recipe for success in the long run. I mean, Adam Fox played over 28 minutes. I thought it was more than that even. But, yeah, Braden's trying to return tonight after he, didn't play. He didn't play. He was on the bench but didn't play last game. But, look, the Rangers, I expected that they wouldn't really play all that well for many reasons, but they find a way to get the 2 points. And so that's the most important thing. And Shesterkin was good. Pretty good. He, maybe both goals, one of them definitely he'd like to have back, but thought he played pretty well, made some key saves late in the third. And the Rangers, really the most impressive thing was that they played a nice third period. Again, after the second period was really ugly, they were down by 1 going into the third, and they tie it up. And so that was good. So the Rangers now, still trying to, climb their way up in the Metropolitan Division. It's not going to be easy, and I think in all likelihood they will finish in the 3 spot. But, look, the more they win, the more they have a chance. And so in this one, the only penalties that were called were in the first, and I thought the officiating in the first wasn't very good. The Rangers got 1 power play at 2:35 of the first. Scott Lawton slashes Tyler Mott, and the Rangers score. So they were 1 for 1 on the power play tonight. It's Mika Zibanejad, who has been a power play goal machine this year, scores his 32nd goal of the season from Tarasenko and Panarin. Nice passing from Panarin to Tarasenko. And look, if we're being honest, Tarasenko probably is going to find his way off the number 1 power play unit for Patrick Kane. That's just what I'm going to guess. That Kane will be on for better or worse. And so now that second unit, someone is going to be bumped off that second unit, and it's going to be a little bit unfortunate, right? Like, I'm thinking off the top of my head, probably Lafreniere or Kakko, one of them is going to be off that unit. And that's just the way that it's going to go. And that just shows the surplus of options they have on the power play. But the Rangers would take 3 consecutive penalties. At 4:02, Artemi Panarin hooks Ivan Provorov. Rangers kill that one off. Then at 10:31, Goodrow hooks. It's called for hooking. And the Rangers kill that one off. But then at 14:40, Jacob Trouba trips Cam York. And, that was I understand why the ref called it, but it looked like York was kind of falling down before Trouba tripped him. And this time the Flyers score. It's Owen Tippett scoring his 18th goal of the season unassisted, and so a couple of power play goals for a power play goal for each team in the first. And this was a play where, the Rangers kind of lost the puck in the corner, and Tippett was wide open. It really, that's one where you can't blame Shesterkin much on that one. Second period, the Rangers were really bad. Really, really bad. It just seemed like there wasn't a whole lot of jump, a lot of turnovers. Like the Flyers were really dictating play. And the Flyers take a 2-1 lead. Scott Lawton scores his 14th goal of the season from Kevin Hayes. And so it's 2-1 Flyers. And that's one where Eager would like to have back. But again, to be fair, the Rangers were just turning the puck over like crazy. It was not good. And really, coming out of that period, they should have been down by more than just one. They were fortunate. But the Rangers came out in the third, and it was a much better third period. They had a lot of opportunities. I thought the kid line was pretty good. And then eventually, it's Chris Kreider scoring his 26th goal of the season from Tarasenko and Trocheck. I thought Vinny Trocheck's been very good lately, and he gets an assist there. But Tarasenko does a good job. He takes a shot, and Kreider, as he does, he is the master of deflections, and he puts it past Carter Hart. And so the Rangers tied up at 2, and we head to overtime. And in overtime, it starts out with Trocheck and Panarin and Fox. Not a whole lot's going on. Then it's Zibanejad, Kreider, and Schneider. Not a whole lot goes on. And then it's Hedl, Tarasenko, and Fox back out there. And Hedl, has a back pass to Tarasenko. And he moves in the zone with some speed and rips it by Carter Hart. And that's a great night for Tarasenko, who needed it, who really hadn't been all that good lately, was quiet, and here gets the overtime winner and 2 primary assists. So he absolutely was the player of the game. And you're just happy to get the 2 points. Like I said, this was not pretty, and it's a Flyer team that is. This might have been the last game for a couple of Philadelphia Flyers tonight, with the trade deadline looming on Friday. But the Rangers kind of at the win, and now we shift our focus to tomorrow night, and that's what everyone's kind of excited about. Patrick Kane making his New York Ranger debut with a full lineup, one way or another. I believe that you will be looking at a full lineup, which will be very helpful. And here, look. Ben Harper is doing as well as he can, but you never want Ben Harper playing over 20 minutes. That's not going to be a recipe for success. Somehow it's been all right the last 2 games. But he'll be in there tomorrow, that's for sure. But at least, in all likelihood, it'll be a lot less minutes. Hopefully more in the 15-minute range than, upwards of 20 plus. So I'm looking forward to that. And, yeah, expect the Rangers to roll 4 lines. Because, look, Montembeault didn't really play a whole lot tonight. Now with a more normal allotment, I would expect to see more of an even distribution. And as far as the goaltender, probably Halak. I would guess that Halak is in net tomorrow. Because just think about it, Shesterkin, he did play Saturday and Sunday. And so chances are it'll be Halak in net. And Ottawa, and here's the thing on Ottawa, they're playing well lately, and they just made a big trade today. They acquired Jacob Chikrin. So he might be making his debut. You also have the return of Julien Gauthier, which isn't really high on the list of things that are all that important, but Gauthier will make his return. And I think Derek Brassard, former New York Ranger, I believe tomorrow night, and I read this somewhere, so this may not be 100% correct, but I believe it is, that he'll be playing his 1,000th game tomorrow night. So wouldn't be surprised if they give him a small little tribute, as he was a big contributor to the New York Rangers, and maybe his biggest contribution was for the fact that he was traded for Mika Zibanejad. So definitely going to be very exciting to see how things play out tomorrow. The crowd's going to be electric, and will Patrick Kane have something in store? I mean, Vlad Tarasenko in his first game as a Ranger, scored in his second shift. Will Patrick Kane have something up his sleeve? And it's going to be, very exciting to see what happens. But again, tonight, Vlad Tarasenko is the hero, and the Rangers go to Philadelphia. They win in overtime, 3-2.